So here it is, guys. We're looking at Mythic Ursoc today. He's got a couple pretty cool abilities. He's got Overwhelm and Rend Flesh, which are both like a tank swap mechanic. Basically, what Overwhelm's going to do is it causes a ton of damage and reduces the armor by 20%. And also increases damage taken by Rend Flesh by 250% for 12 seconds, and this does stack. And what Rend Flesh is, it hits the tank for a large amount and applies a dot that does damage every 2 seconds for 12 seconds. Basic tank swap mechanic. What you're going to be looking at is one tank is going to end up taking Overwhelm. One tank is going to have to taunt swap over for Rend Flesh. And where you end up doing your taunt swap, yes, you are going to take a couple stacks of Overwhelm. But as soon as Rend Flesh wears off of the other tank, that's when you're going to end up doing your tank swap. So a little bit of communication is going to be needed there. And then you can end up swapping the other direction to where the other tank is now taking Overwhelm and the new tank is taking the Rend Flesh. So just something to think about. It's a pretty neat little timing trick that they've got in there. It's not just watching one debuff, but you have to watch two. Really cool deal. The main mechanic that's going through here, though, guys, is Focus Gaze. And what's going to happen with this is Ursoc is going to focus a player and then charge after 6 seconds, hitting them with Trampling Slam, which is going to cause huge damage, but it can be reduced the further away you are. When he reaches his target, he also hits all players with Barreling Impact. What Barreling Impact is going to do is it does a huge amount of damage also, but it can be reduced by the more people that he moves through and causes momentum damage. Momentum's another ability. Basically, everyone he passes through, he does a light amount of damage, but he also applies a debuff, guys. It's called Unbalance. Unbalance is going to increase the damage taken by momentum by 500% for 50 seconds. So, that being said, you're going to want to split into two groups, but we'll get into that in just a second. The other ability he's doing is Roaring Cacophony. Ursoc roars and does AoE damage to all players within 20 yards. This damage is shared by everyone in range, so you're going to want to stay a little bit closer to Ursoc. And it also causes players to be feared, but that's going to be in a different section also from the Nightmarish images, guys. Whenever Ursoc roars, though, he leaves behind a Nightmarish image that it's also going to roar, and it's going to do the same kind of damage. But the thing is, it also leaves a pool of miasma, aka pool of shit, on the ground that does decent ticking damage every second. And basically, the main mechanic difference between the heroic version, if you've seen a video on it, and Mythic, these Nightmarish image bears are going to come to life and try and eat your face off. So that being said, instead of coming in with two tanks, we came in with a third. One to just be able to take this ad and hold on to it as the other two worked on their taunt swaps. Just to make it a little easier in the raid testing, guys, but it seemed to work out really well. And that's basically what you're looking at, guys. Now, these Nightmarish images are going to continue doing their roar. They are a focus priority. The pool of crap does not follow them when they become active. But every time they roar, they're going to increase the damage of the next roar through another ability called Echoes or something like that. And it's going to increase the damage by 10% even again. So what you're looking at is kind of a soften rage on the bear ad. So you want to nuke him down as quick as possible. And then the last ability to cover, it's a basic one. No, we didn't get nowhere near it. This boss had 2 million health. And yeah, it didn't come close. But he does end up doing an enrage, guys. At 30%, Ursoc enters a blood frenzy and increases attack speed and damage done by 20%. So, with all that being said, let's go into what we were doing. So, this is how we started off, guys. We had two ranged with markers on them. Alright, and they did a rotation. And what we were doing was a rotation of who would end up moving to the right of the boss, basically. When it was your group time, you would end up putting yourself between your raid marker and the person with your raid marker and the boss. So it ended up doing the charge come through everybody. This charge is the biggest thing to end up taking care of, along with ads. And the reason for it is because it's an instant wipe if you don't, guys. If you don't get in for roars and everything. But let's stick to this charge. So what you're doing is you're going to basically, the way we did it was the group that was getting charged would move to the right of the boss as we were facing it, alright? So you would move to the right of the boss, right up next to the pools if need be, and then the other group would make sure they were as far off to the left as possible because there shouldn't be nothing to get you there. And whenever you get targeted, what you're doing is you're going to move yourself over from where you're at as far away from the boss as possible in a line with that marker. A lot to say there, guys, but the video itself should end up showing a little bit more interest on how this is done. Now, with this all being said and done, guys, this focus gaze is a huge thing to deal with, and the main raid mechanic. The other thing to worry about is roaring cacophony. Alright, you can see the puddles of stuff that are coming up, you can see the bear images, and you can also see the bear images coming to life. Mwahaha. Fucking Frankenstein's over here building extra bear models, guys. But yeah, these guys come to life, and you gotta tank them, you gotta end up DPSing them down, otherwise you will get overrun if you don't focus, as you can see. We do have a lot of attempts on this, but we had some really good pulls, really good strong pulls. The Miasma, not really something you got to worry about too bad, guys. As long as you continue kiting around the room and you end up making sure that he's dropping these in good locations, tanks go pro or go home. But make sure that they're dropping them well. It only goes for a 20-yard range, so you don't have to go too far out. There was a few times it felt like we were just pulling it too far. But hey, better safe than sorry, and they do disappear after you kill the bear image. So that's another reason to get on the nightmarish image as soon as possible to help keep the room clear. All in all, guys, fight pretty damn simple for a mythic fight. Enjoyable also, with a little bit more work and a little bit more tuning. We should be okay with actually getting this thing killed fairly easy. This was yet another pug group that I was in. Just wanted to get a first look out to you guys. So, on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, just a first look. I'll let it run a couple of the pools here, just so you can see a little bit more on their own. But again, guys, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, go ahead and throw it a like and subscribe when you're done. And, hey, see you next time.
Not enough mana. My mana is low. I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
Alright guys, so this is going to wrap it up for us. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it kind of gives you a perspective of what you're going to be looking at. Again, this is the first Mythic boss in the Emerald Nightmare. And pretty good fight. All in all, it was a really good fight. So I hope you enjoyed it. And again, thanks for watching.